Hey, it's Erin. Let's talk about the best time of day to weight train. A few factors go into deciding what the best time of day to weight train is. The first, core body temperature. The second, fluctuating hormone levels. The third, circadian rhythm or our sleep-wake cycle. The fourth, food or nutrition. And the fifth, we have to look at your personal schedule and preferences. The first and probably the most important factor is your core body temperature. It's very important to understand that over a 24-hour period, your core body temperature fluctuates considerably. About 2 hours before waking, that core body temperature is at its lowest point. And upon waking, your body temperature will rise throughout the day and spike right about that early afternoon to evening time. So you have about 4 hours where your body temperature is at the highest. Now, when your core body temperature is at the highest point, you will experience your greatest levels of strength and power. So if you're looking to gain strength, if you're looking to improve power, or perhaps you're involved in an athletic sport, then training in that afternoon to early evening time can kind of be that sweet spot for you. Next, we have to look at two hormones, testosterone and cortisol. Now, these are opposing hormones, and they are both highest first thing in the morning. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone, which means that it's involved in breaking tissue down. Testosterone is just the opposite. It's anabolic. It's involved in building. So it is one of the main drivers of muscle building. Both of these hormones are highest in the morning, and they typically will decrease throughout the day. Now, your cortisol levels typically will decrease more than your testosterone levels will throughout the day. So we're kind of looking for that optimal time where testosterone levels are a bit higher and cortisol levels are a bit lower. And it turns out that that afternoon to early evening time is right about that optimal time when testosterone can be a bit higher, cortisol levels are a bit lower, and in fact, your cortisol response to training later in the afternoon or early evening can be a bit lower than it is earlier in the day. All of this is fine, well, and good, but the research has yet to really solidify this point. So, we kind of have to take it into consideration, but at the end of the day, your personal schedule is going to really determine a lot. Number 3, we must look at your circadian rhythm, and this is your sleep-wake cycle. And this varies quite a bit among individuals. Some people are morning people and some people are night owls, which means that the morning people can wake up, no problem, right about sunrise or so, and they typically get tired later in the day, they fall asleep early. Now the night owls, they can stay up to midnight and beyond. So taking this into consideration can be really important. If you're a night owl, you're probably not going to want to train at 6 a.m. You're not going to be that alert. Your core body temperature is going to be super low because it's usually before you wake up. And the opposite is also true. So if you're a morning person, training in the morning can be a really good decision for you. Training at night can be good too if you're a night owl. You want to make sure that you have a few hours after training so that you're able to unwind, relax, and get good restful sleep. Number 4, nutrition or food intake. Now, typically, if you're eating every few hours, if you're training later in the afternoon to early evening time, you've usually had a few meals in you, which means that this is going to boost your energy levels, it can increase glycogen stores, and it can lead to better workouts. Whereas if you're training first thing in the morning, or if you're training fasted first thing in the morning, your energy stores may not be as great. You may not have as much energy earlier in the day. So just something to take into consideration. Number 5, and perhaps the most important, is your personal preferences and your schedule. What time of day can you train and what time of day would you like to train? If you are a morning person, let's say you want to train before work, if you train and you develop a schedule, all of these other aspects can be minimized. So regardless of the fact that your core body temperature may not be as high if you're training first thing in the morning, if you're getting your workouts in, that maybe 5% increase that you would have experienced later in the day doesn't matter as much because you're on a schedule, you're consistent, you're not missing workouts, and you're motivated. Let's say perhaps you may get better workouts later in the afternoon, but you have a greater chance of missing them, or you have a greater chance of being distracted and not really giving 100% after work. Maybe you're tired. So really think about what time of day you can actually train. What time of day can you commit to training on a regular basis? This, again, is the most important factor. Whatever you can come up with in terms of scheduling and structure, as long as you stick with it, the research does show that your body gets accustomed to training at whatever time of day that you're training on a regular basis. And this is really great news. So hopefully that helps. Again, at the end of the day, train when you can consistently train, when you can give it 100% physically and mentally, and you're gonna make really great progress. That's it for this time. Until next time, train smart and train hard, y'all.